Introduction. Attention getter. How do cultures learn and reinforce their own values? Why is it important to learn about another culture? When you learn about another culture and see why others do things they do, it's easier to understand them and you can develop sympathy with others. It's harder to justify things like hatred and war when you understand and where another person is coming from. So growing up in America, it's hard to imagine that a civilized society can be so different than American values and society. Japanese culture is completely different culture values than American culture. Thesis. Japanese culture is collective, high context, and high avoidance society, in comparison to American culture, which is low context and low avoidance. Preview. Japanese culture is different fundamentally in almost every way than American culture. But what characteristic and values make up Japanese culture? How are these values displayed in communication? How do these values compare to American culture? So this is what I'm here to talk about today. So transition to body. Collective culture, Japanese versus individualistic culture, American. The United States is individualistic culture. In the United States, being strong and independent is considered good. So individual uniqueness and self-determination are valued. In America, being referred to a self-made man as a huge compliment. Transition to point B. In contrast, Japanese culture is collective in nature. The Japanese culture is a collective culture. In Japan, the voice of the group, businesses, family, school, and social group is more important than that what one individual. In business, the Japanese refer their company first, followed by the name of department and their personal role, with lastly their personal name. Workspace is more communal. Bosses are not separated from their employees. According to Moran, and Moran group leadership is more highly regarded than individual. Transition to point C. How are the collective values of Japanese culture communicated? So how Japanese collective values are expressed verbally and non-verbally. So verbally, Japanese verb dero kogi wa translate to the nail that sticks out will get hammered down. Japanese favor conformity and social harmony to individual expression. So Japanese have to be indirect, gently, and even if they disagree with what you're saying. Working in a group, harmony is viewed as the element for productivity. Transition to the main point. Another culture different between Japanese and American culture is high versus low context. So high context culture Japanese versus low context culture American. American culture is low context. There is a melted of culture in one location. They can and do mix at times, rarely share the same experiences or view, and feel more to provide explanation. So Americans really on a clear, logical, and communication, not context. According to author Edward, most of the information must be in the transmitted message in order to make up for what is missing in the context. Transition to the point B. Japanese culture is the polar of the opposite of American low context culture. Japanese culture is high context. So, according to the world population review, Japan is